Hello guys. Today I'm going to be spilling the beans, aka how to make a poltergeist mechanic. So you rarely see these guys, but when you do, they're really dangerous. And you probably want to be like them. So what you're gonna want to do, you put a hold fast then ball joint. I recommend ball joint or hinge joint, and then you put brain, which is basically like where you put your soul. So like if I put it here, let's see what happens. Here's an example. Here, see? Yeah. Where you turn and where your camera is around that. Now, and of course, and obviously, if you put a brain here, guess what's gonna happen? That you're gonna get a worm mechanic to make a worm, Earthworm Sally. Now, put weapons. Put sadness here. Carnivore mouth. This is what I usually do. First, let's start out with simple poltergeist mechanic. You know, we get that. We add that. We add legs, obviously. You don't want to put legs here because then you're gonna get flung really easily. But you could put anything else besides. I forgot. So once you have a decent guy, you can hold fast. Sometimes you gotta jump a few times for that. And as you can clearly see, I recommend using controls I recommend clicking control once so that you could do this. That's what I recommend because it allows you to launch your head at your enemies sometimes. If your head is small enough. Now if you do this, it's more smooth. But if you do this, then hold W, aka forward, you get that. The same result. But you could also do that. Now that is how you make a poltergeist mechanic. Now you guys probably aren't gonna want this, okay? Because it's pretty bad. It only has 10 health. Now I will be giving the code for another mini poltergeist. It may be more prone to flames, but anyway, let's start making an actual poltergeist now. Perfect amount of head length. Now let's start making an actual poltergeist. First we need guts because I really like adding guts to my creatures. They're pretty helpful. They're pretty good. Even when now we add our we don't add the brain yet. Let's add stomachs, because I also like adding stomachs. I don't know if it's meta, but I like being able to hold more food, okay? I like not having to lose food, to lose all of my hunger in 4 minutes, okay? What are this thing's stats? 64. Alrighty. Oh wait, oops, no, not yet. First we're doing a layout. Now let's it's not really that big of a deal. Well, first, oh, oops. Now, and also if you think that improperly connected thing is kind of annoying, you could turn it off in settings, okay? If you think it's annoying. Right now this thing is very, like, now this thing is built like a toothpick. Right? But we're going to want to add some more legs. Because this thing needs torque. And it's going to need a lot of it. You know why? Because basically every part in the game takes away torque. And torque is very important. It's basically how fast your creature can turn. Although some Leviathans don't need torque according to some YouTubers, I still like to keep my torque, okay? Still like to give my apexes a decent amount of torque, okay? There and there. Now let's add some more things. I know this thing is like very slender. We're kind of just building its skeleton right now. That's what we're kind of doing. Now let's add all of these bottom legs. Now once you have a decent amount of legs, like enough to, oops, great. Messed up just a teeny tiny bit, and now I have to do everything all over again. Although it's not really that hard to do it. Now we have our poltergeist skeleton. So time to connect everything and make an actual poltergeist. I'm currently recording my video. It's okay. Now, anyway, back to the video. Now, once you have a pretty good shape for your poltergeist, because you don't want it being like a pancake. You want it to look like something like this. And the size plot is 7 width and 5 height. Height is the second one and the first one is width. Then the third one is length. And in total it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. it's 38. Now, click F2, and if you have a phone, I don't know how to do it. Maybe, so if you're on phone, go to a different Evolve 3D YouTuber, because I don't know, I'm clueless. And then you type resize, like that, and then make the P uppercase, and then everything else lowercase. Now it's 7, and then 5, and then 38. You get the same plot. Now you can type that in, and let me wait for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're gonna want to fill all of this. Oops. Now you're gonna want to add the intestines so that your creature doesn't have. This thing needs to hold a lot of negative appetite. Okay, I'll tell you that. It's probably going to be this case. And when you have, and if you have spare negative appetite, if I do end up with that, and if you do when building poltergeists of your own, bring it down to 0. When any stat gets to 0, it just disappears. But if you add anything that takes away that stat or adds to it, it's going to show up back again. So when your appetite just doesn't want to be there anymore, that means you had 0 appetite. Even if you have like negative 3 appetite, or if you have like negative Rayos number appetite, it's going to treat it as 0 appetite. So if you do have 3 negative appetite somehow, I recommend bringing it down to 0. That's what I recommend. Now we add shell blocks. In my opinion, these are pretty good, but they're not the most efficient because they take like almost like more than double the amount of appetite on the shell wedge. They're not the most efficient, but when you don't have a lot of spots left to put things, I recommend putting what's it called? Oh yeah, shell blocks. Now I recommend putting a hoop of one out, then a bunch of cardboard outs. So now let's start building its head. The part of a poltergeist that destroys the most things. Now, anyway, where is it? There. Now we have this. This is Brickhead, and it's pretty decent. Obviously, we're going to put some electrolytes because when you make apexes, electrolytes are crucial for hunting and getting parasites off of you. Build Brickhead. Now once you have something that kind of looks like this, let's add some stingers to stun your prey. Okay. Now once you have have a decent amount of math like this. It kind of looks like this. We don't want to add spikes because pretty much like all of the weapons in the game that are not carnivore mouths deal double or more than the carnivore mouth. So we don't want to add as many spikes and stingers as you possibly can. That's what I recommend because spikes are like the most efficient of them all because they cost one less DNA, take away less things, and they deal double the amount of damage. So spikes are the most efficient out of all of them. Now, let's add some spikes. Now, once we get something that kind of once we get anything that kind of resembles this, we're going to add bottom spikes. Just because those spikes that go to the bottom doesn't mean they're trash. They're still pretty good. Now, see more space for destruction. See that? More space for destruction. We like that. We humans like that. Like, not like in real life, but games like this. We like it when there's more space. Now then, you get this. Once you get something that looks like this isn't really the brick head. I just filled in as many spots as I can for destruction. Now, when you have this, something that looks like this, you want to add eyes. You could just put them here. Now I have negative like over 1,000 appetite, so that's where we're going to want to add shell blocks. Because I'm a lazy person, and if you have it, you should use your OP auto clicker for this. Now, set it to this. I recommend that. That's what I usually do. Now, F6 time. That is the keybind to activate OP auto clicker. Because they cooked. They did not want someone to accidentally activate their OP auto clicker. Now poltergeists are very hated because they phase. That's why poltergeists are like very hated creatures because they phase, and no one likes phasing things. No one likes the effects that phase. But in my opinion, they are not as bad as those phasing boxes. Like the phasing box's whole thing is phasing. Even if phasing gets patched, poltergeists can still attack because not all of the weaponry is inside of them, so they can actually fight back. So they can actually still survive. But poltergeists are literally just gonna have a lot of wasted resources because, like, if the phasing gets patched. Now, so if you're a poltergeist, and sometimes I actually get scared. I tell you that. People do not like poltergeists, okay? So if you are getting roasted after you use this, it's not my fault. Because that is a warning for like anyone who doesn't want to get roasted or reported and potentially banned. Because I think phasers are bannable. Now we keep doing this until we get something that looks kind of like this. It looks now we already have a lot of health. Poltergeists usually have a lot of health. So the right conditions are needed for them to catch their prey. Because for some, this thing has negative torque. Now, we don't like negative torque. We don't like our creatures having negative torque. So, you know what we do about that? We do this. We open the shell here and do that. And basically do a surgery to add more of what it needs more of. Okay, bottom legs. Now the torque is skyrocketing. There's like the stocks meme. That's what it's like. It's like the stocks meme. I think the meme is dead, but I don't care. Now, oops. Accidentally, for some reason, like, didn't do its thing for a moment, and because my aim was a little off, that happened, which is very unfortunate. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. Now, we add shell blocks. This thing's health is skyrocketing. Now, unfortunately, its luck is gonna run out, and soon, as you can clearly see, it's probably gonna max out at 2,000 HP, and it has 2,000 HP. That's my normal poltergeist has more HP. It does more damage than this, I think. It's more agile because it has an extra force. Although now if you do want the code for the one with more HP, I upgraded and I didn't put the code in, so you're gonna have to like rebuild it, because otherwise it's gonna have like as much health as this. Now, to see that negative 100 appetite, we can cook with that. We can make some deadly dishes with that. Because I thought it was going to have less HP, but turns out it's going to have more than I thought. This thing is basically If you have that old one, I think you should switch to this one. That's what I recommend now. But now we add our hold fast. So we go hold fast into the ground and deliver fusing. And lots of it. Now we now have our poltergeist mechanic. It looks weird. The thing I had to deal with that. Yeah, my creature has a longer jaw than this, so it does more damage. And it has a little bit more health than this one. You could add some adjustments to give this thing more health if you want. Now, you have this. It has a pretty small head. Okay? He does not have the biggest head. Okay, I'll tell you that. Now we have our creature. We have our thing. Now it can't do that. Basically, but it can't do that detaching head from its body to chase down prey glitch. Although I wish it could. What is that? What is that? What is that my connection is playing as? And we have a helpful thing. Not lag delay. Now, this thing is pretty good. No! Please! Not this! Now it's gonna do that. Now the fix to that, which usually... Oh, they got that weird glitch thing again. Now, I'm going to call this polter. I'm going to give you the code for this thing. Because I have an ego, it does more damage, which I'm a fan of. But unfortunately, it does cost a lot more DNA, I've realized. Alrighty. This is a starter poltergeist. It can't do that detach head to chase down prey thing, but it's pretty good. These things, it's pretty good for chowing down on hotels. Now, this thing does obviously have some more room for HP. I know that HP is very important, so we're gonna obviously add some. This thing is gonna have loads of HP. Now, this thing does have a lot of HP, so this thing has loads of HP. Now we have this. This thing has a ton of HP. Now people are really going to like this creature I hate this. Why can't they just move it in one piece? Please. Yes. Now this thing is gonna deal less damage, but it's gonna have more HP. Alright. Well, I think. Thing might end up having like 3,000 HP. Now if you now you might want to make an even more HP hungry Leviathan. 1, 2, 3. And that's what you might want to do, so that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to need more negative appetite, obviously, and this thing might end up having an unholy amount of HP. And this thing is going to have loads of HP. It's literally going to have 3,000 health. Like now this thing literally has 3,000 health. stopping you from using a poltergeist that does like barely any damage but has a unholy amount of health. No one's stopping you. So if that is what you want, that's what you're gonna get, okay? Does this thing even count as a poltergeist or what? This thing has so much health. Does this thing even count as a poltergeist or what? Like, what is this? What is this? What is this abomination? Hello. I can hold fast and deliver unlimited piercing while also only like giving. I don't know why. You can't even poltergeist. Can't even polt. Okay? This thing can't even do poltergeist things because it has that small of a head. Hold up. I don't know why any of you would want this, but if you want, you can get it. But nobody would want this, I think. What is this? What even is this? This thing barely has, it barely can do poltergeist things. Its head can constantly vibrate and maybe get its prey, but otherwise this thing has like no use. It can barely do poltergeist things. What is happening? Oh, it kind of works. It can kind of do poltergeist things. Like barely. But this thing can only do electrolyte damage. Phaser alert. This thing can't even phase, and even if it does, it barely does any damage. More like just attack sponge alert. That's what this thing is, and things can take away 3,000 health very quickly. If you guys want this, I'm not stopping you, okay? You can enjoy this thing. No one is stopping you, okay?